the world of watercolor, your tools are not just utility items. They are the quiet partners in your creative journey. A high-quality watercolor brush is an extension of your hand. Premium cotton watercolor paper is the stage for your pigments dance, and your paint palette is where the magic begins. Welcome back to my studio workbench. Now that you know how to select your brushes, papers, and paints, it's time to establish the essential rituals that will protect these creative investments. Watercolor tools are remarkably resilient, but they require a gentle, respectful hand to maintain their performance. Today, I am going to guide you through the exact care and safety practices I use in my own studio. We are going to cover how to properly break in and preserve your brushes, protect the absolute purity of your paper, manage your paints, safely handle masking resists, and keep your creative sanctuary clean, safe, and organized. Let's start with your brushes. When you first buy a premium watercolor brush, the bristles will feel stiff, rigid, and completely glued together. Do not panic, and please do not bend, flick, or snap those dry bristles. If you do, you risk snapping those delicate, high-quality fibers. To protect brushes during transit, manufacturers dip them in a natural starch called gum arabic. To give your brush its new brush welcome, discard that plastic protective sleeve. Fill a small bowl with cool, clean water. Gently roll the stiff bristles across the bottom of the bowl. Never press the tip straight down. Roll it until the gum arabic starch completely dissolves and the hairs become incredibly soft, flexible, and springy. After a painting session, always wash your brushes immediately in cool or lukewarm water with a mild, biodegradable artist soap. Gently swirl the wet bristles in the palm of your hand to work the soap through the fibers. Then rinse until the water runs crystal clear. And here is a crucial artist warning. Never use hot water. Hot water can dissolve the glue inside the metal ferrule, causing your beautiful brush to shed its hairs. Now, how you dry your brushes is actually where most artists make fatal mistakes because of the inescapable laws of gravity. First, never leave your brushes resting face down in your water jar, as the weight will permanently bend and ruin the delicate fibers. Second, never dry wet brushes standing upright in a cup. Gravity will pull the water straight down into the metal ferrule. Over time, that moisture rots the wooden handle, cracks the lacquer, and dissolves the glue holding your bristles together. The right way is beautifully simple. Gently squeeze the excess water out of the bristles with a clean towel. Reshape the hairs into a crisp, pointed tip with your fingers, and lay the brush completely flat on a dry towel. Once, and only once, they are bone dry, you can store them upright in a brush holder. And if a favorite round brush ever begins to lose its point and get splayed, simply wash it. Dip the damp bristles into a light solution of gum arabic, shape it to a perfect point, and let it dry stiffly. It trains the fibers back into alignment. Just rinse it out before you paint again, and your sharp tip is restored. Next, let's talk about paper hygiene. Watercolor paper is incredibly sensitive and highly absorbent. Your skin naturally produces oils that transfer to anything you touch. If you handle the center of a pristine sheet of cold-pressed paper with bare hands, those invisible oils will lock into the cotton fibers, acting as an accidental, permanent resist. The moment you go to lay down a smooth, sweeping, graded wash, ghostly, water-repellent handprints and fingerprints will suddenly appear right in the middle of your beautiful painting. To protect the purity of your sheet, always handle your watercolor paper strictly by its outer edges or decal margins. If you are working on a complex pencil sketch or transferring a template, consider wearing lightweight cotton gloves or rest your hand on a clean sheet of tracing paper to shield the paper surface beneath. And always store your watercolor paper flat in a cool, dry place. High humidity can degrade the paper's sizing, the gelatin treatment that controls how fast water absorbs. turning your premium cotton sheet into a giant piece of blotting paper that sucks up pigment unevenly. Keep it safe in its original packaging or a sealed portfolio. When it comes to your watercolor paints, a dirty palette leads to muddy paintings. Before you begin painting, always use a clean brush to drop a few beads of fresh water onto your dry paint pans. This rehydrates and activates the gum arabic binder, giving you a rich, creamy consistency that is ready to flow. I always keep a damp, clean cellulose sponge resting right next to my water container. I use it to blot excess water from my brush to keep my water-to-pigment ratio perfect. You can even place a damp sponge inside your lidded palette to keep your tube paints moist. But make sure to open it and let it air out every few days to prevent mold. If you ever see a spot of mold on your paint pans, don't throw them out. Simply scrape away the affected surface layer with a clean palette knife. Wipe the well clean with a damp cloth and let the remaining paint dry thoroughly in a well-ventilated room. Now, let's talk about masking fluid. Liquid latex is a miracle for preserving white highlights, but it is also the ultimate brush murderer if you aren't careful. If latex dries in your brush, it will permanently glue the bristles together. To prevent this, use my soap shield ritual. Always coat your brush fibers with mild bar or liquid soap before dipping them into the masking fluid. The soap acts as an invisible protective shield, preventing the latex from binding to the fibers, so you can rinse it out easily with water. And remember, always use an old, inexpensive synthetic brush for masking fluid, never your premium watercolor rounds. And watch out for the hairdryer trap. Never speed up the drying time of your masking fluid with a hot blow dryer. The heat will literally bake and cook the latex directly into the paper fibers. When you go to peel it, it will bond to the sheet and tear your beautiful paper to pieces. Let it dry naturally. Finally, let's talk about safe studio habits. While modern watercolor paints are incredibly safe, some historical and professional mineral pigments, like cadmiums and cobalts, contain heavy metals that can be toxic if ingested. Always keep your watercolor rinse jar physically separated from your coffee mug. You do not want to accidentally dip your brush, or worse, take a sip from the wrong cup. Also, protect your home plumbing and our local water systems by cleaning up mindfully. Heavy mineral paint residue can settle in your pipes and cause severe clogs. Instead of rinsing a muddy palette directly under the tap, use a damp paper towel to wipe the heavy pigment residue out of your mixing wells and water jars. Toss it in the trash bin, and then rinse the clean palette under the sink. Today, your studio practice is to establish your own creative discipline by creating the Sanctuary Ritual Checklist. In your course progress journal, I want you to write down a personalized 4-point cleanup checklist that you will follow at the end of every painting session. Include reshaping and laying your brushes flat, protecting your paper sheets, sponge cleaning your palette, and wiping out heavy sediment. Take a photo of your clean, organized workbench ready for your next creative adventure, and tuck this checklist into your journal. To find my curated list of specific, budget-friendly product recommendations with direct links, head over to the Art Material Shopping Guide on my website. The link to the shopping guide and the written student guide for this lesson are in the video description and pinned in the comments below. Head over there to grab your checklist guidelines, and once you've taken a photo of your beautiful, clean sanctuary, leave a comment below. Until next time, respect your tools, protect your paper, and I'll see you at the workbench.